Today I am coloring the Cafe Valvet page from my Cozy Shops in Watercolor book. Before we start, here are the tools I'm using. A synthetic round brush, size 11 for the larger areas, a small flat brush size 2 for details, and also a Jelly Roll white ink pen for highlights. All the colors and materials are listed in the description box, including my Amazon link with the supplies I recommend for this book. Also, I'm a little sick today, so my voice might sound a bit off, sorry about that, but I still wanted to film this for you. Now, let's begin. I am starting with the round brush to cover the large area on the wall, using cadmium orange as the base color. The top of this illustration has open lines, so I am adding a loose squiggly line at the top to make it feel like the building continues upward. Since the book uses 200 GSM paper and not cotton watercolor paper, we can't leave a big area uncolored for too long. Otherwise, you will get that visible line where the paint dried and then got reactivated. To avoid that, I am working back and forth, a little color on one side, then the other, and then back again to the first side. If the paint has slightly more water, it stays open for longer, but because of this paper weight, which is 200 GSM, we still can't use too much water. So just enough to keep things moving smoothly while you work quickly across the surface. Now I will focus on the coloring a bit for now, and then I will talk again later in the video. For all the windows, I'm starting with the yellow base. I cover the whole inside of the window with yellow first, and while the paint is still wet, I add burnt sienna around the edges. This gives the windows the warm, cozy glow. On the larger window, I didn't want the yellow to dry too quickly, so I stopped halfway, added a bit of burnt sienna to the edge, and then continued with more yellow and burnt sienna. Just keep everything slightly wet so the colors blend softly. If the burnt sienna spreads out more than you want, just take a clean wet brush and tidy the area. It's easy to soften it that way. For the upper windows, I'm keeping the colors lighter. I add more water to the yellow so it's softer because I want the main focus to stay on the cafe, not on the windows above it. But you can absolutely experiment with the colors. Maybe you add blue base with darker blue around the edges. That would also look really interesting here. So choose whatever colors you like. I'm just suggesting these because they give this really warm, cozy look. For the three lamps, I am just adding yellow and a circle around it, which will give it this nice glow to the lamp. For the street name sign, I am using dunes as the base. While it's still wet, I drop in a tiny bit of raw sienna, just a little dab here and there, and let it spread on its own. It gives the sign more interesting natural look. I am also using the dunes color for the AC unit and for the awning. Here I am coloring the entire awning in this light beige first, because later I will add the red stripes on top. The red will easily cover it, so I don't need to be super tidy at this stage, but if you want stripes in a different color combination, then you might want to paint each stripe separately. For the pavement, I'm mixing dunes with a bit of raw sienna, so it's not too light. While the layer is still wet, I will add more raw sienna in a few spots to break up the color, so the pavement doesn't look flat or perfectly even. For the windowsill and the chalkboard's frame, I am using raw sienna. Next, I am using burnt umber for the smaller details, the little line on the wall, the frame of the awning, and the tree trunks. It's a nice deep brown color. And be super careful with this little line because it's very tiny, so don't color outside the edges. Or do. It's your book. Do whatever you want. Now I am coloring with black mixed with a bit of sepia. I like warming up my black this way. It makes it look softer and less flat. With this mix, I'm coloring the small details, also the chalkboards on the facade and the sign, and the bottom part of the cafe. That's how it looks in real life, but of course you can color it however you prefer. The colors dry lighter on this paper, so if you feel the black looks too light, just add another layer. I will be doing the same. Once I finished the last chalkboard, the first layer was already dry, so I simply went over everything again to deepen it. Now I am using sap green for the cafe's name. Just take your time here and try not to paint outside the letters, so they look nice and tidy. The same sap green will also go on the cafe facade, the window area and the door. I'm leaving the bottom part of the door uncolored for now because I will paint that in a different color later. And here I am also mixing the brushes. For the smaller areas I'm using the tiny flat brush, and for bigger area I used the round brush in bigger size. For the greenery, I am using olive green and sap green. For the plant with the lemons at the top, I am keeping it simple and using only olive green. For the rest of the plants, where there's more open space, I start with olive green as the base and then drop in sap green while the paint is still wet. I am adding sap green on the shadow side, so think about where your light source is. Mine is coming from the right, so the left side of the plants will be a bit darker. The dark area is what we call the form shadow. Now that the green facade is dry, I am adding a second layer of the same color, sap green. This will even out any blotchy areas and also add a bit more dimension. We already have our first light layer, and now I am placing the second layer only on the parts that sit like more inward. Anything that is closer to us, like the little frames and the raised details, I leave with just one layer. Everything that goes inwards gets the second coat. This simple step makes the facade look deeper and more three-dimensional. am adding tiny dots on the greenery with sap green to create darker leaves. This gives the plants more depth and makes the whole area look more dimensional. For the bottom part of the door, I am doing something similar as we did in the windows. A base color yellow and then burnt sienna around the edges while it's still wet. This will be the base for the golden door frame later. Next, I am moving to the red geranium color, adding small accents into the windows, and then I will color the striped awning. I color one stripe, leave the next one empty, and continue like that. And of course, the flowers and the flower pots. You can use any colors you like for the flowers, but I think the red really stands out against the green, and I also like using limited color palette and spreading those colors evenly throughout the drawing. It keeps everything cohesive and stops it from feeling too busy. For the curtains, I am using yellow as the base and adding a bit of burnt sienna in the folds for the darker areas. You can also use cadmium orange here. It will give this warm but darker tone. For the lamp, I'm coloring it with burnt sienna, and then I continue adding a few small yellow accents around the cafe to balance out the colors. And the bottom part of the door, now it's dry, and I'm adding a second layer of plain yellow to make it more golden. I wasn't too happy with how the sign and the windowsill shelf looked. They were blending into the orange facade a bit too much, so I am adding a second layer of burnt sienna to darken them. But you need to take a look at your own drawing and decide if you want that extra layer or if you prefer to keep it lighter. I am also adding the burnt sienna to the baked goods. After that, I will use the blue color for the window frames and a few small details around the drawing to bring everything together. Next, I'm adding the form shadow onto the flower pots. I mixed the red with a little bit of burnt sienna to get a darker shade. And since my light source is on the right, the left side of each pot will be the darker side. Then I take a moment to look over the page and see what else needs a bit more depth. For me, the awning frame felt a little light, so I am adding a second coat of burnt umber there to make it stand out more. Then I will also add more accents and shadows throughout the drawing. I will use sepia for the warm areas and Paynes grey for the cooler areas. These will be the cast shadows. All the objects are casting shadows to the left, and since my light source is on the right. So, for example, the flower pot casts a shadow onto the green facade, and I will be using Paynes grey there. The little frames on the facade also cast shadows, so I add those in as well. Inside the windows and on the wall, I am using sepia for the cast shadows, and the same principle applies. If the light is coming from the right, the shadow falls to the left. And if you chose your light source on the left side, then of course the shadow will fall to the right side. And the awning also casts a shadow. At first I didn't place it correctly, but later I fixed it. So don't worry if you need to adjust yours too. Keep the shadow dark enough to add dimension, but not too heavy. Just a soft clear shadow that helps everything more dimensional. After all the shadows are in place, I am adding a few burnt sienna lines on the pavement to make it look more interesting. I am also adding some small green dots on the ground. They look like fallen leaves from the plants, and they really help bring the scene to life. Then I looked at the wall and felt it needed a bit more texture. So I am adding a few extra lines and dots as a second layer of cadmium orange, here and there. Nothing too heavy, just enough to stop the wall from looking flat. And now it's time for the highlights. I will use the white ink pen, but you can also use white gouache, add a few highlights on the side where the sun would hit and on any details you want to make pop. And that's it. The drawing is finished. Thank you so much for getting the book. I really hope you enjoy coloring these pages, and if you can, please leave a review on the page where you bought it. Reviews are incredibly important in the book world. And if you didn't know, you can actually cut out and frame the pages. The outlines are placed slightly to the right on purpose, so you have space to trim them. And I would love to see your colored versions, so if you post them anywhere, tag me at Inky Paper House so I can see your work. Thank you again for watching and see you next week.